This is a podcast for the Nuffield Department of Medicine. Today we spoke to Dr. Jenny Taylor about her research on personalised medicine. Hello, Jenny.
Hello.
What is personalised medicine?
Personalised medicine is really about making the treatment a patient receives very relevant for their own specific condition. Clinical diagnoses can be quite sort of broad umbrella descriptions, and personalised medicine aims to introduce and integrate a lot of different test results to make sure that the particular condition that a patient has is understood at a variety of levels and the therapy or clinical management targeted accordingly.
How can scientists tailor treatments for an individual patient?
Cancer is a good example of where scientists and clinicians are already tailoring treatment. Previously, if a patient received a diagnosis of cancer, surgery to remove the cancer, and then chemotherapy was prescribed and maybe radiotherapy too. The chemotherapy and radiotherapy are very toxic treatments, and the emergence of new molecular therapies in cancer against particular molecular targets has really revolutionised the field. But we have to know the particular aberration or mutation in a patient's tumour in order to be able to decide which of those therapies would be most appropriate for that particular patient.
Can you give an example of a personalised medicine approach?
Yeah, I think following on from the theme of cancer that I was talking about just now, one of the approaches that we've taken is to develop these gene panels for where we can sequence the genes that are known to be involved in different cancers and identify the mutations that are present in any given patient's tumour. And once we then have that knowledge, then we can identify which of the molecular targeted therapies that they should receive. So genetics has had a big impact here.
What are the most important lines of research that developed in the past 5 or 10 years?
Well, I think genomics has had a very exciting time. It's a really cutting-edge time. It's revolutionising not just the research field, but the whole application of genomics to clinical medicine. So the idea that we can now test multiple different genes to see whether there are these mutations or changes in a patient's DNA. When we used to have to do that one gene at a time, now we can look at several in parallel and now increasingly whole genome sequencing. So I think genomics has had a huge impact in this arena, but I am rather biased.
Why does your line of research matter? Why should we put money into it?
Well, our line of research is very much focused on discovery of novel genes for human disease, but also the development of these genomic technologies that will allow us to take these new tests, bring new tests into the clinic and be able to diagnose patients. And so I think it's clearly very important, not just for understanding the mechanisms of disease, which the discovery of new genes will help with, but also actually just making sure that patients are going to benefit from that and that the results aren't lost in a journal, but are actually developed for people here and now.
How does your research fit into translational medicine within the department?
It's very closely integrated with the translational medicine in the department. I'm also part of the Oxford Biomedical Research Centre, which is a translational programme. We've got a Genomic Medicine Theme, but by being based in the Wellcome Trust Centre for Human Genetics, we can look at the genetics discoveries that are arising from principal investigators in the centre and work very closely with the Biomedical Research Centre programme and with the Oxford University Hospitals Trust to make sure that these research discoveries are actually translated into clinical benefits, be they new genomics tests and technologies, that we can make sure that we're the conduit for making sure that translation from the research into the bedside is actually happening.
Thank you, Jenny.
Thank you very much.